Good evening, everyone. It is Thursday, August 27th, 2020. I'm sitting outside right now. It's 7 o'clock my time. And we got the outer bands, or outer cloud bands, I should say, of Hurricane Laura um, coming through. The wind's picking up a little bit. Man, I'm going to have to pray for a lot of those people down there in the Gulf Coast. I saw some of the damage after I got home from work this afternoon on the news, and man, it was terrible. I heard about the chemical plant fire that happened down around Lake Charles, and it was at a chlorine factory, I want to say. I could be wrong about that, but anyway, it was a devastating storm. It was a Category 4 when it came through, which, hurricanes go, that's pretty strong. The strongest category is Category 5. And ironically, this hurricane made landfall almost 15 years to the day of Hurricane Katrina, battling just roaring through Louisiana and parts of Mississippi and Alabama. One of the strongest hurricanes to ever make landfall in recent history here in the United States. And I know I can't imagine what it's like living down in Louisiana for people down there that survived Katrina. And every time that a hurricane, comes near their area, that it's got to be so terrifying. I was looking at my YouTube account earlier, and I realized I have not posted a video since the end of May. This will be actually my third one that I've posted. So I've gone almost 3 months without posting a video. So I decided to get on here and just kind of give an update as to what's going on with my sobriety. It's going well. I passed 9 months on August 17th. And boy, it's hard to believe that it'll be a year before I know it. And I'll tell you what, it was the best decision I ever made. It was seeking help. One of the things that I'm learning as I go along in my journey is that it's not only the self-love and the belief in myself, but also developing a stronger faith and trusting in the Lord, because I was conferring with a friend of mine last week, and the message that she shared with me was very touching. It made me realize, I did a lot of the work, obviously, but without Christ's help, I couldn't have completely made it through. Christ has helped me through this, and I have to acknowledge that, and I know that to be true. And so I'm in the process of developing a stronger relationship with Jesus Christ and with God, and because I witnessed firsthand the wonderful things that can happen, and with Him, with His presence. And so that is one thing that I'm working on to build myself up as I continue to build myself up. Next month, I'm going to be taking a road trip by myself. I'm going to a part of the country I've never seen before. I'm going to be traveling to South Dakota, in particular to go see Mount Rushmore. and the areas around there, the Keystone National Forest, and then drive into Wyoming, parts of Wyoming. I'll probably go as far as Laramie, Wyoming, which is in the southeastern part of the state, but depending on time, I may further deeper, like head more towards the Rockies. But we'll just see. My plan is to leave here on the 23rd and drive through St. Louis, and then the stop over in Kansas City, and not just spend the night, but I'd like to kind of visit the area a little bit. And I've always been, curious about Kansas City. I've heard nice things about it. I'm thinking, it's just like any other big city in this country. It's got its, a lot of positive attributes. So I'm looking forward to that. And then once I leave Kansas City, I'll head up to I'll go through Omaha, Nebraska, which I'd like to visit as well. I'd probably really enjoy seeing Rosenblatt Stadium, which is where they hold the College World Series every year. The new Rosenblatt Stadium, it was built, it opened about 10 years ago, I want to say roughly, thereabouts, maybe a little more or a little less. So I'd like to go visit there if I can, with the pandemic going on, and maybe they may not have it open for people to visit. So I'm looking forward to the trip. I think not only is it a sightseeing trip, but I'm using the time to do a lot. I'm be using the time to do a lot of journaling. Sorry, sounds like some branches are falling out behind the house here. So I want to utilize a lot of the time on my trip to journal not only my experiences on the trip, but my thoughts and feelings and my ambitions. It'll give me a good time to reflect over the last year and a half or so of my life, with everything that's gone on with my increasing use of alcohol, to the death of my mother, and now my path to sobriety. It's had its extreme low points, but it's also had its extreme high points as well. And given the pandemic that has struck this country and the world, quite frankly, with everything that's happened in this country since early middle March, it's easy for people to get caught up in addiction. And I've maintained a positive outlook on a lot of things about life in general, and that has really helped me get through it all and maintain my sobriety, because I know there's a lot of people out there suffering. So that's what I plan on doing, and again, just journaling, writing down my thoughts, my experiences, and using the time to reflect and to pray, and just become closer to Christ, because I really feel that that's important. Many of you that know me know I'm a pretty, I try to maintain a pretty good sense of humor, but yeah, and that's great. Having a sense of humor is wonderful, and I don't plan on losing that. Sorry if I offended anybody by saying that. No, not really, just kidding. But overall, in all seriousness, I really do need to reflect and kind of get to know myself a little bit better, and so that's what I look to accomplish on the trip. Not just the sightseeing tour, but also the emotional and the mental and the spiritual and faith aspect of the journey. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you all. There's a lot of, it's easy to get caught up in all the negativity that's going on in this country with the protests and the destruction, and of course you add on the coronavirus, and it's an election year. We got less than well, a little more than 2 months before the presidential election. And you don't have to turn any further, but than social media or the news to see how volatile it really is in this country. And there's a lot of people suffering out there, and we need to keep that in mind as well. A lot of good people in this country are suffering in a lot of ways, mostly due to the coronavirus pandemic. And so I hope and pray that we can get through this adverse stretch in our great country's history to come out even stronger than we were before, but become more united and understand that we all have different life experiences, and we need to end the racial bigotry and hatred that seems to be a plague in this country. And I also, because I consider myself to be very patriotic, I love this country, and I want it to achieve its fullest potential. I really do, without any hesitation. I say that, and I say that very proudly. So with that, I'll sign off, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the evening. Have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe. Lift each other up in prayer, and just show compassion, show kindness, show love, and spread it. Make it contagious, more contagious than any virus. So y'all take care of yourself, and I'll see y'all soon. Leave your comments on this video. Thanks.